The Team Lally show was previously recorded.
It's time to enter the world of real estate in Oahu with Hawaii's only true real estate radio show, the Team Lally Real Estate Show. Grab a pen and get ready to take notes. For the next full hour, Hawaii's premier real estate leader, Adrienne Lally, and Attilio Leonardi will bring you the latest in real estate news and real-world strategies on how they can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, or they'll buy it. Now, here are your hosts, Adrienne and Attilio.
Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, you can give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey, so this is the art part of the show, Tilio's Random Thoughts, bringing you information that doesn't cost you anything and could make a difference in your life if you execute on it. So here I want to share three things. Well, a couple things. Yeah, three things. Number one, we were at an event and people were like, hey, are you from the Team Lally Real Estate Radio Show? Mm-hmm. I always was curious to know what you look like. What would be a way that people could know what we look like, Adrienne?
Well, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, X, or Twitter. And we are live every Saturday. It starts at about, I think, 10:07 is when it goes live. Yeah,
get on
so
early.
So you can
anyway,
catch
if you're
us
wondering
there.
what we look like, we're live streaming on all our social media platforms every Saturday. And by the way, the show. Mm-hmm. So here's the second thing I wanted to share with you was we do Adrienne and I will come in, to your place of business and do what's called the Ideal Team Player Training. This is a training format with handouts with self-assessments. Come into your office, your place of business, and we do the stranger effect. What's that, Adrienne?
Well, we'll come in and speak to your team, and we'll be telling them things that, are familiar, but because it's coming from an unfamiliar person, they're going to listen. Yeah.
Just like how, a stranger talks to your kids and say, hey, settle down. And they settle down, and then you tell them, you got to screaming and yelling, and they still don't settle down. So we call it the stranger effect, and what we do is we come in and talk about core values. We customize it for your business and say, hey, here are the things that you're doing as a member, that we do as a member of this organization that creates friction between each other, and then this is the things that we're doing that creates efficiency and reduces friction between each other. I have them do a self-assessment on these core values and attributes, and then I have them do an assessment of the direct leadership. And then it's great feedback, great learning opportunity. And it's not only telling our team members on these businesses what we are challenging, what we have challenges with, but what we can do to have solutions and remedies.
And we just did this Ideal Team Player training with our own team.
Yeah.
And I think
to remind ourselves.
Yes. And I think that everyone got a lot of value. I saw everyone taking notes, and, I'm excited to see what transpires.
And here's the deal,
training.
folks. We sell over 100 homes every year after year after year. And the only way we're able to do that is with our team. It's not Adrienne and I doing everything out there and provide a high level of service to a bunch of people. Don't take our word for it. We got 500 5-star plus reviews online, and talking about another business owner and another business that has a ton of 5-star reviews. Who's that, Adrienne?
That would be Duke Kimhan of Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Hey, Duke.
Hello. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Awesome.
What you got for us this week?
So, the reason why you give advice when you're an expert in your field is so people will try to not make mistakes. And so that's what we do. We try to guide them in a direction that they'll maximize their rents. That's what a property manager is supposed to do. Put money in the account and protect the property. That's the only two reasons. But, there are people who just think they know better, and it's really difficult sometimes. And it's the point that I'm at in my career. I just say, Mr. Homeowner, if you're not going to do this, then I probably advise you to go get another property manager.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things, and I just had this discussion with a guy on the phone, is yard service.
Yes.
People don't want to pay for yard service. They want the tenant to take care of the yard service. They want the tenant to pay you top rent and for them to take care of the yard.
We're actually
really difficult.
We have a seller hasn't been in the property, 3, 4, 5 years, Adrian?
They've left the island 5 years ago.
5 years ago, they did not include yard service, and they're afraid. It's like
they're also for rent by owners, and they're about $1,000 under where they should be.
And they have been for the last couple of years. How much? Thousands of dollars, and then we're just afraid that that we should open up their yard on Halloween and charge admission.
Yeah.
Well, we know the association has already. The association has scolded them about the front part. So we're kind of
famous last words from the tenants. Oh no, we're gonna take care.
Yeah.
It could be thousands of dollars. Like, just landscaping is expensive.
Yeah, very expensive to fix. So I've been to court a couple of times, and the judge told me the second time, he said, "Mr. Kimhan, weren't you in here earlier for yard service?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Didn't you learn your lesson?" And I said, "Well, it's not me, sir. It's the owners.
Yeah.
The owners have not learned their lesson." He goes, "Well, send this as lesson number 2, that the tenants will win this, because you never should give the yard service responsibilities to your tenants and expect them to do a professional job."
Yep.
So we've lost both of those cases in court, and the cleanup on the lawn was over $3,000.
Oh.
Wow.
Yep. And he goes, "You never told me that." I said, every walkthrough that we did every 6 months, we pointed out that the lawn was getting out of hand.
Yeah.
And we warned the tenants about it. But how do you enforce that?
Yeah.
You can't enforce lawn service on the tenants. So anyway,
Duke,
that's my tip.
Duke, I think that with this judge who's given you 2 warnings, maybe we got to put some quotes from the judge in the management agreement.
Yeah.
And it's not you; it's coming from the judge.
Yeah. You're going to lose.
There's only one judge in small claims court, and they do small claims Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays. And, when you're in front of him, everybody in the courtroom gets to hear that because he just calls, he probably does 250 cases in a day.
Yeah.
And it will just call the next case up, and you all sit in the arena and watch the cases that go before you.
Yeah.
So, and the best part is that in small claims, the loser pays the winner's court costs and attorney's fees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, how's that?
Wow. I
So
see. Just get the lawn service, people. Just get the lawn service.
Owners don't listen, it's just, it's comical.
Here's the judge's quote. He says, "Don't be a loser. Get lawn service included."
Yeah, there you go. That's my tip of the day.
And then, boom, he wraps his gravel.
Thank you, Duke. Excellent reminder.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you, Duke.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, always, and what's good about the advice that Duke gives, this is not like theoretical or he Googled it.
No, this is actually happening right now.
Yeah.
He's got over 1,000 properties, and so he sees all sorts of interesting things every day.
Yeah. So here's your message to you for RENBA owners. You may be thinking, oh, I'm saving 10% on management fees, but you're probably losing 30% on being below market. Probably another 30%. Property upkeep, vacancies that are unnecessary because you didn't take care of the property. So
It's like insurance.
Yeah.
It's like you have this insurance by using an excellent property management company like Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Yeah, and it's also risk management because the reason Adrian and I don't personally do property management, I'll tell you, there's agents, they're doing it all. Property management, residential property management, commercial property management.
Sales.
Doing sales, working with buyers, working with sellers. I don't know how you can be good at all of those things when you're doing everything.
And there's a lot of rules here in Hawaii, especially for the Hawaii Tenant Landlord Code. And those rules are in favor of the tenant.
Yeah.
So you need a professional that really understands how to navigate through that and protect you and your investments.
Yeah. The third thing that I wanted to share with you guys at the beginning of the show is let's be connected while we're out to dinner with our families. How many times I'm at restaurants and I just kind of glance around and see like mom, dad, teenagers, even a little one. The little one's in front of an iPad. We are in a society today where we're so connected digitally that we're disconnected personally. So I know it's like trying to take crack from a crackhead, those phones out of, there's a new
especially with the teenagers.
Yeah, there's a new surgical procedure. It's very popular. It's being done at all the hospitals across the nation, and what they're doing is surgically removing iPhones from teenagers' hands. It's a very successful procedure, though symptoms after surgery symptoms include, shakes, not being able to make eye contact with their loved ones, but then they come around.
I mean, I can share an example where my son, he went to the youth challenge.
Yeah.
And so he was gone for 5 months. He had no phone.
No phone. What did he tell you? I remember he told you some stuff.
Well, I mean,
positive things.
Yeah, no, and it did have a positive effect on him to not just to not have that cell phone.
Yeah.
And he was able to focus. And, when he, came back home, we were able to have conversations.
Then he reverted back to
he's
technology.
He's still working on it. We had a good conversation the other day.
Like.
30 minutes.
He knows what the other side of it looks like. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying get rid of the phones. The phone's the devil, and no more social media. I'm just saying take a baby step next time you guys are out to dinner.
Boundaries. Just have some phone boundaries.
Do something crazy. Do something wacky. Leave all of the electronics in the car. Only exceptions would be one of these two things. You are working directly with the president on matters of national security, and or you're an organ transplant surgeon. Outside of that, I can't see any reason why you need to have a phone with you
at dinner.
There's no reason to. So that would be that thing. And then I wanted to get back to the for rent by owners. Mm-hmm. The big mistake, and we see every single. We've never sat down with a for rent by owner that was getting ready to sell, and had them like, oh, what's your rental rate at market rate? They were all below. So a couple problems that creates. One, you're leaving money on the table. We've seen anywhere from differences of $500 to $1,000 below rental market. Number two, you're actually creating a black hole for the renter because their budget has adjusted over these years for that kind of rent, for that kind of space. And then now you're asking them to leave and go into the marketplace, and that same kind of...
Or you hire a professional property manager and they're increasing it to market rate and they don't have the budget.
Yeah. So speaking of professionals that can provide you advice, this one professional is going to help your relatives not be having a big fist fight at your funeral. Who's that?
That would be Amphay with the Estate Planning Group.
Hey, Amphay.
Hey, how's it, guys? Hey, Tilio.
Good. Hello. What you got for us this week?
Adrian.
What you got for us this week on the estate planning
tip?
Wisdom.
I was just helping a family that had a child that was special needs.
Uh-huh.
And I think this message is so important to all our families that, worry about what happens to their loved ones that they're caring for. That way they don't get taken advantage of, that, their livelihood, their services. So special needs planning is so, so, so important for all families that have a loved one with special needs.
So Amphay, if the family doesn't own a property, but they have a child with special needs, how does this estate plan, come into play?
So the purpose, two primary purposes, right? The first thing is really about making sure that whatever services and support that your special needs loved ones has is preserved. So if you don't do your planning, anything that they inherit would likely push them out of or make them ineligible for public benefit. So if they're receiving like SSI, housing, services, Medicaid, and I don't know if you know, but the threshold for that, the limit is so low. I mean, in terms of what can be held as assets. And if they come into these inheritance, they no longer will be eligible.
So you might inadvertently disqualify them from like all of the help that they're getting from the state.
Yes. Okay. And now whatever they receive, you can correct it. And the way you correct it would basically mean they have to either spend down in other words, waste, or, there's just the planning becomes important, right?
And you guys have the strategies, and you've helped many, many families with, their children that have special needs.
So, like, for example, the special needs child is there, and every parent, we always want to be able to take care of our kids after we're gone. And so what if they were thinking they were going to leave their special needs child the home? Obviously that would create a lot of assets. What would be the
alternative,
the strategy for that?
Mm-hmm.
So families can create what we call a special needs trust.
Uh-huh.
There's a couple ways to do that. And now when assets go into these special needs trusts, they will be exempt from being counted as assets that the special needs child would have.
Uh-huh. So
via the trust, the special needs child will be a beneficiary. And then they can take advantage So the second part I wanted to share, which kind of relates to this, is, aside from public benefits, it's really now having peace of mind to know that our special needs loved ones have the quality of life.
Yeah.
So when you leave them all of this, they can do things other than just meeting their basic needs.
Yeah. That's a good strategy, and we don't know what we don't know unless we will sit down with you.
And it's like, there's so much information, and it can be very, just overwhelming trying to navigate through that and know the right things to do. And I know that Amphay and his firm, they just, they've had so much experience. I think just give them a call.
Yeah. And talk about some of the misconceptions that people have. Like, one of them is, like, you got to be a multi-cajillionaire to put together, to have a trust. Is that true?
Nope. I think every modest income family must put an estate plan in place because, again, the cost of probates, conservatorships, it's unnecessary, and it's just unnecessary cost and time, and so headaches and heartaches, and like you said, the last thing you want is for your loved ones to be fighting.
Yeah.
Well,
avoid the fist fight at the funeral.
I know I have a peace of mind because Amphay helped me with mine, with my estate plan.
Amphay, they have these people that you can hire where they just get up in the middle of your funeral and then they read a letter that you wrote. Mm-hmm. And then most of it is like you just telling off all the people that you don't like that came to the funeral anyway, even though you didn't want them there. You have any of those services? I heard a podcast on this. This guy did this in Australia. His friend was like, oh, whatever. He's like, and so, man, I was dying and you was hitting on my wife. You terrible. Right in the middle of the thing. Like, he don't even wait for the eulogy to finish. He just interrupts the eulogy, says the letter that his friend wrote, and then he leaves. And then it went viral.
Is that what you want to do at your funeral?
Yeah, that's what I want somebody to do. But anyway, it went viral, and then people were hiring him to do this.
Wow. Geez, like, stick it to him, right?
He just, getting it off his chest one last time.
Maybe that's the opportunity, a business opportunity here in Hawaii.
And, I want somebody to get up and say, hey, that guy owes me money. But no, we want to, all joking aside, we have in our minds what we want, but unless it's spelled out and put together in a trust, you're going to create a lot of heartache for your family if you don't do this. So yeah.
And I would even make it a little bit broader than just the trust in itself. I think, estate planning, which encompasses a trust, is important because we want to create that safety net that says and offers families the peace of mind. Yeah.
I think the biggest peace of mind that I have in having a trust is that I'm not, and you probably witnessed it firsthand because they call you, right, and you can go over the trust and review, is that people are in a highly emotional state and having to deal with these big decisions as opposed to, you know what? Dad wrote it down. This is what he wants done. And we're going to follow Dad's wishes, but we're not going to be like wondering or having to go to like do a seance so we can contact Dad beyond Like, how many people was trying to contact Houdini? They couldn't get a hold of him. He never answered any of the seances, and he didn't have a will or anything like that either. So I would tell people that you're hearing this now, stop putting it off. Give Amphay a call. Because you charge like $50,000 for the first phone call, yeah?
Not at all.
Zero. Free. First call.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, our firm prides ourselves in educating families first.
Yeah.
Really about what it is when we talk about estate planning.
Yeah.
And I think then they now make informed decisions about what it is that they want to do with the things that they work so hard for.
Yeah.
And I tell you that this whole planning thing, for me, it's an exercise in liberties. I've said that many, many a times, and I truly, truly believe that it is.
So, and then expand upon that. What do you mean by an exercise in liberty?
If you don't want the government to tell you what to do with your things, then this is what you're going to do.
Gotcha.
Funny story, Attilio. Somebody had shared with me, like, why all these rules? Why the government got involved in all my things? Why you got to do this? Why you got to do that? And then, as I'm listening to this, right, and this is part of a workshop, and I share it, and like, if you don't want all of the things that you're complaining about, exercise your right and your liberties. When you plan, nobody will tell you what happens to your things. You have full control.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You just got to navigate within those rules. And I know that Amphay and his team are experts at creating these trusts and these plans properly.
Yeah.
So
give Amphay a call before it's too late.
That's right. Thank you, Amphay.
Because
thank you, guys.
Amphay, nobody's contacting you when they've gone on to glory, right?
No.
No.
I don't answer those calls.
That would be impossible.
Like Patrick Swayze and Ghosts, they're not like moving the pennies around or.
Just do it now. Just do it now.
Do it now.
Have a discovery call.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amphay.
Thank you, Amphay.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Attilio. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Right.
Aloha.
So you can find all about Amphay by going to teamlally.com under our resource tab and click on Experts We Trust. And there's a video, his contact info, and reach out for a free consultation with him today.
Hey, speaking of consultations, I want to encourage the sellers to give us a call, and we're going to have a consultation where we're going to be talking you out of selling your home.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say?
That we're going to tell them not to sell their home.
Yeah, and I don't mean that every time everybody calls us, we're telling you just, that's how we answer the phone. Don't sell your home. What we do is, what do we mean by that?
We're looking at all options.
Yeah.
We're not just like tunnel vision on,
sell your home.
Let's get the home sold.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we explore all different options.
Yeah.
Because it's about, serving your family's needs.
With the best possible strategy, and sometimes either waiting or doing certain things as a strategy beforehand to make sure you're taking a look at everything. There's the selling process. There's the
prep.
Yeah, preparation for that. There's tax strategies. There's all kind of things that you need to be aware of and not be like, oh, I wish we had known about that before we started. And that's what our clients used to tell us in the beginning, but then we learned so much and we're like, we don't hear that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
We like to educate them up front.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to read a review from Mike Kimura.
Okay.
We had a great experience with Team Lally. I would especially like to recommend Ruben Gonzalez for his responsiveness, patience, and understanding throughout the decision-making process. We had a lot of questions and stops and starts and decided not to go through with the purchase after all.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Ruben remained understanding, and I highly recommend him for anyone looking for an excellent agent. I will also not hesitate to engage him on my next real estate transaction.
By the way, very easy ways to get a hold of us, info@teamlally.com, or give us a call, 799-9596. Again, that number is 799596. Hey, we're about to take a break, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Kenji Vendetta of Pillar to Post. We will be talking about the new service and the services included for their premium and prestige packages.
Stay with us.
Taking one cash offer for your home doesn't have to be your only option. I'm Barbara Corcoran, and especially in today's current market, having a local real estate agent who offers great marketing and options that are customized to fit your needs is smart. In Honolulu, the agents I trust are Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardo. They can give you a guarantee to sell your home, flexible fees, or up to $10,000 in cash to help with repairs. Get the option that's right for you. Go to teamlally.com.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, talking with the only real estate agent in your market I recommend. Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. So now that the market is normalizing again, how's that going to impact home selling right now?
Sean, let's explain what a normal market is. It's when it's neither a buyer or seller market. Both buyers and sellers have equal negotiating strength and need to focus on a win-win strategy to close. We have over 7 highly successful strategies that get homes sold.
So is now the time to sell?
Sean, the best time to sell is when you need to move. Stop trying to time the market. Smart people spending a lot of money try to time the market and fail. Again, the best time to sell is always when you're ready to move.
Great update. Thank you for keeping us informed. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com.
If you're looking for an outstanding insurance agent that will personally help you during the moment of truth, we recommend Bradley Maruyama with Allstate Insurance.
So, Attilio, what do you mean by the moment of truth?
Well, the best insurance is the insurance you never have to use. But we know that's not how life works. So when life happens, you can count on Bradley and his team to exceed your expectations for your insurance needs.
Keep in mind that when buying a home, the cost of home insurance should be taken into consideration. I trust Bradley with my own personal home, so you should give him a call. Call Bradley with Allstate Insurance at 591-8016.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Attilio.
And if you have any questions, you can reach us at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey, our guest today grew up in Waianae and went to Maili Bible High School with, he has a passion for self-improvement and business acumen. Spends his free time indulging in podcasts, particularly those focusing on financial advice and marketing strategy. He loves writing poetry, long walks on the sand in the full moon.
That's not what that says.
I added that last part.
He started with Pillar to Post when the previous owners sought his expertise due to overwhelming demand. After the company changed hands in 2018, he was retained to spearhead daily operations. Please welcome today's guest, Kenji Vendetta.
Kenji, awesome. Hey, do you have a poem to share with us today? I'm just kidding.
My wife would love that, though.
I know. Today's the day to do that and write one. All right, so let's talk about home inspections. Well, start off with the basics. A lot of people, we actually,
this morning's huddle.
Yeah, this morning's
huddle.
Let's talk
about that.
J2 of the Hawaii purchase contract that all us agents J2 talks about recommending a
professional home inspection.
Professional home inspector. Let's describe to people, what is a home inspection? What's that look like?
The home inspection is a certified person that goes into a home and we test all the different systems of the house, such as electrical, plumbing, appliances, refrigerators, stoves, washer dryers, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we're looking for any defects that may have in those structures or in those systems. We'll put on a report and give it to the buyer. That way you guys can make decisions on whether it's best for them or not.
So, Kenji, you mentioned a certified person. What does that mean?
Yes. It means that we should be, home inspectors should be backed by some form of organization, whether it be Mounchi or ASHI, home inspectors, so that way they go through some form of education prior to becoming a home inspector. So that way you're not having your cousin's uncle come into the house and just says, this looks good, and with $50,000 in repairs later.
So, Kenji, when you say certified, with the Hawaii rules, is it like a licensing requirement? What do you need to do to just call yourself a home inspector here in Hawaii?
Hawaii doesn't require a
a certificate. However, having a certificate makes you that much more of a candidate compared to the next person.
Yeah.
So, and you're able to show that, hey, I got these documents of proof that, hey, I did take this testing. I do have this certificate to be a home inspector.
Yeah.
So, Kenji, is it true that really the only kind of license that you need for in the state of Hawaii is the GET license?
And maybe one driver's license.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can go
driver's
get to the
license,
house.
too.
Yeah.
Like, those are the two licenses you need.
Yes.
So,
GET.
And we know you have...
And then driver's license for transportation.
And we know that you have a lot more than that. Can you just kind of...
talk about, again,
all the ones that you've gone through, the certifications.
Yeah, say those organizations again. Yeah.
ASHI, ASHI, home inspections.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that's up there, comparable to ASHI, is Internachi. That's another good one. And then there's a lot of small little certifications as well.
Yeah.
ICA school. That's another one that's well worth having as well. And fortunately, we don't have any state stuff. So if we did have state like Washington or Texas, then we would be going through the state testing as well.
Yeah.
So you guys also with Pillar to Post, I know that they're pretty extensive. And they have very high standards for anyone that is, representing that franchise.
Representing that brand, yeah.
Yeah, so talk about some of the training and then the continuing training that they offer for their home inspectors.
So that training is an extensive 2-week course, education-wise. That way we get the education up front, and then the training on the back end of it is in person, and that can take up to anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
So, and we're looking for skilled people that can communicate, that can identify issues inside of a home.
Yeah.
So that way we're caught on our back end, and then the clients know that, hey, we're buying something well worth it. We're not buying a melon.
Yeah, and I think the communication part that you mentioned earlier, we're going to talk, I would say it's like that bedside manner.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do the home inspection, and at the end you go over with the report with the potential buyer, and you're not like, oh my goodness, what the heck were you guys thinking buying this home? Holy moly, take a look at this. No, you're not doing it like that. You're just saying, hey, I've seen it, because you go like major areas, concerns, and then some of the other things, and you got pictures and everything. So
he's very good with his communication to not bring alarm, but also there's areas of
bring
concern or attention.
Yeah.
And the buyers can either, ask to have it remedied, get a credit, or just cancel. Maybe it's like such a big issue that, it's not worth it.
And Kenji, I'll tell you why it's important for the seller that the buyer hire a home inspector. So they're not looking over their shoulders and going, what about this? What about that? And nope, got covered in the inspection. So the time to deal with that is while we're in escrow, not after we close, when it's been fully disclosed to you, what kind of things you need to be. I call it, your report is like a homeowner's manual.
Yes.
For the house.
Get introduced to the home.
Yes, it is.
But this is the one you want to look at, guys, not the one you got from the IKEA furniture, and then you throw them away, and then you put the thing together, and they're like, oh, wow, got a couple extra screws left over. That's okay. Not like that.
So Atilio, what was this morning's topic, the question that you had posed
to
the
team?
So
here's the question, and let's get
Kenji to chime in on this.
Kenji's perspective on this. So we've had buyers come to us, and they're like, my uncle was general contractor. He been general contractor for 30 years. They even sound like exactly how I'm
just like that.
I've been contractor for 30 years. Not need home inspection. And by the way, when our clients are not making good decisions, they all sound like Frank De Lima. And they're making good decisions. And so I just go with my uncle. He built houses for the last 30 years. Talk about, here's the thing that I said, you guys have different, your approach and skill set and the tools. Talk about some tools that a general contractor most likely is not going to have, or some part of your inspection that a general contractor is most likely not going to do.
All right. To answer that, a lot of the newer builds and even the remodel flip builds, there's a lot of oversight in certain areas of the house. Electrical outlets not working, light switch is not working, the cabinetry is off, the hardware is not connected. So there's a lot of oversight when you have these general contractors coming to do the inspection, because they're just going to come in, do a whirlwind. They're not going to touch every little thing. And they're like, hey, it works. Water turned on, water got warm, we're good. But the tools that we do have is an infrared camera and a moisture meter. And those tend to pick up things that cannot be seen behind the walls. Generally in cold areas, in wet areas, we'll see if there's a moisture or if there's a leak with the toilet, or if the panel is reading high temperature, then we'll call that out as well, because that can lead to an electrical fire. So those two general tools, a moisture meter and an infrared camera, will normal contractor will not have in their arsenal.
I think too is like what they're gonna have in their arsenal. It's the general contractor. They're gonna do generally look around. They're gonna go outside. You guys are gonna be
surface level.
What
they're gonna do. So just surface level
stuff. Drop that tailgate on the pickup truck, and then you guys, green bottle. We're done with the home inspection. It looks good. You should buy this house. Green bottle. No, you don't want to do that. Kenji is, talk about. Do you have like some kind of like bonding or some kind of special insurance or anything like that?
Yes, we do have E&O insurance that covers us on that side. If there any claim were to come up, fortunately, I've been doing this for almost 6 years, and we have no claim come up.
Congratulations.
So,
and we're talking hundreds of inspections, not like 5.
Probably more than 100.
Hundreds.
How many inspections, Kenji, do you think you've done over the last 6 years?
5 years, 6 years.
Anywhere probably from I want to say closer to 4,000.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty.
In the thousands. Not hundreds. It's
thousands. When you go Super Bowl party, can you hold yourself back from looking at your friend's house and like, hey, this GFCI over here in the bathroom doesn't work. In your guest bath. Can you hold yourself back from doing home inspections at your friend's house?
That is a habit that point everything out and they're like, don't worry about it. We got it.
Are they like, are you
later the same?
Are you like the friend that's a doctor? They're always coming to you for advice. Oh, Kenji, this thing over here, like, can you take a look at my circuit breaker box? I think I got some double taps. Hey, no, we got to watch the game. I'm not here to look at your circuit breaker box. So, but home inspections, very important. Let's talk about.
He has some new services.
Yeah, talk about some new services.
This Pillar to Post Connect. What is that, Kenji?
Yes, what is that?
Okay, Pillar to Post Connect. State of Hawaii, or Oahu, anyways. We generally just have like electric HECO for electric, or the water supply for your water. Those are your main two that you kind of want to get connected with.
Yeah.
Pillar to Post Connect is a contact number that your clients will call, and will third party will kind of give them all the information that they need to make these phone calls. So that way, you as the agent, you're kind of sitting back and not worried about, hey, I need to get my clients signed up with HECO so they can transfer electric, with the water so they can get transferred over.
Yeah.
The hard one that Hawaii has is on gas, or Oahu has is gas.
Yeah.
So there's one primary gas company, but if you're on a tank system, then you got multiple gas companies to service you.
Yes.
So that Pillar to Post Connect will provide the contact information that is needed. We'll send that all over to them, and we'll get them signed up for it.
Awesome.
So it's like a little bit of like a concierge
easy
edition,
yes,
just to make
it
things
is a concierge program.
Nice.
Yeah.
Free on the client, free on us.
Just added value.
Yeah.
Frees you of time, because you can be spending there on wait at HECO for like 2 hours.
Yeah, well, you don't want to wait on the phone like that. No.
They're going to close and going to be like Thanksgiving. We had this turkey stay in the oven for like 2.5 days. It's not cooking. Oh, your gas is not on.
So Kenji, can we also talk about the services that are offered with the premium and the prestige packages?
Yes.
Okay. First one we have is a Pillar to Post Home Manual.
Home manual.
It's a free app that we give to the clients, and it will be preloaded with their appliances, the AC systems, the water heater system.
Nice.
And it's a user manual. Yes. So it's preloaded. It has a user manual on there. It has some quick do-it-yourself tips. And it also tells you if your system has gone bad or if there's a recall with it. Or if your refrigerator, you got to change your filter.
Nice.
It'll send you a notice for those things.
So this is a digital link.
Does it tell you where to order the new filter? Is there like a link that you can just click to order?
I don't think it tells you not where to order it, but it tells you what filter you need for your refrigerator. So if you're at Home Depot and you're like, oh, yeah, I got to replace the filter, you can open up the app.
Yeah.
It tells you right there in the app what filter you need and pick it off the shelf.
It's so convenient.
People at Home Depot will be envious. They're like, whoa, you have a digital home manual? I don't have one of those. Well, you need to get your home inspected by
Pillar to Post.
Pillar to Post with Kenji's crew. That is super cool because the only time you have that manual is new construction. It's a 3-ring binder, and everybody knows where you put it. It's in those tiny little cabinets above your refrigerator that nobody's going to look ever at again, and then you forget it's up there. But then you replace appliances, and so then you go up there and you got the manual from the original appliance, and you replace that one 10 years ago. So the manual
now it's all digital.
Now it's all digital.
And it gets updated.
Yeah. Plus, I like the recall thing. The recall thing.
Yeah.
Super
and
cool.
You also can, if your client is replacing a unit, say the dishwasher broke, they can put the new one in and they can scan the license plate.
Yeah.
And it'll upload the new system. It'll upload the new appliance into the program. So it's super easy, super quick to use.
Yeah.
Now, we're doing some screen sharing of this app, and I noticed she was scrolling through. They even have like the paint, like the kind of paint. So I guess if you wanted to like do some touch ups or repaint
on the appliance,
or just
or on the house.
on the house.
Oh, cool.
I know different associations have different rules about you know the kind of paint. I know that we're dealing with that.
We're working on one. We're like, oh, the association manager get the paint. Oh no, the president has the paint, and we just like, who's on first, who's on second?
We've been following up with this association
for a month already,
almost a month, just trying to find out like what color paint do we need to paint the exterior of the home.
No, the owner's like, I'm just gonna paint the house already, and we're like, no.
But if, you know what, like if he had this Pillar to Post app,
boom,
we would have known.
Yeah.
So this is a very useful tool for everyone.
Yeah. All right, and then post estimates and post 360.
Yes. So the estimate is not a lot of home inspectors will do this unless they have a third-party vendor for them. So we do this for our clients. Whatever is in our home inspection summary, that will be generated on an estimate, and a client is able to go in there and see how much it would cost for these items to be repaired or replaced.
Yeah,
nice.
We saw that. I saw that before. That's really cool. Cool.
Yes. Our pricing is going to be higher because we're Hawaii. Because our estimate is from East Coast to West Coast. So
mainland.
It's a very general number. Yeah.
So Kenji, when they see these numbers, what do you like suggest that they
add 20%, 30%,
20 or 30% to the
plus 1 6-pack of Heineken?
that should knock it off to 10%, right? With the Heineken
discount, green bottle discount. No, I used to work construction with my uncle, and that was everything. At the end of the day, it was like he would tell me, "Hey, boy, you dropped that load of cement in that wheelbarrow. You buying 1 case beer?" I think I only dropped 1 barrel of cement.
Okay, so anyways, they give you the estimates, which is helpful, especially if you're in a purchase
and you're
transaction.
Negotiating.
Yeah, so like it's right there. And you're not going to be like guessing about, how much is this repair going to cost?
Fix this double tap of the circuit breaker box.
It's right there. You can ask for a credit and, feel that that's going to be enough money to have that done.
Last one. What's the 360? Is that like a skateboard trick? What is that?
It's an interactive 360 virtual inspection tour of the property.
Nice.
And you'll pop up into the living room. And let's just say there's a loose outlet. You'll be able to identify the loose outlet right away.
Yeah.
We do have a drop-down tab in that virtual tour, so you can see all the defects inside of that particular room. And it makes it easy to share, gives you the floor plan, so that way, families, they can see what you're purchasing.
Mm-hmm.
They can have a input, even though they're not paying the bill, but they have an input. They're also able to, with the floor plan and the 360, you're able to send it to a contractor to be like, hey, I want to redo my kitchen. Here's the size of the kitchen, and this is what it looks like.
Nice.
I want new cabinets, new counters, rearranged to place, so that way it's functional for us. And
I thought you was going to say feng shui.
Well, that too.
I was close to it.
So what you're saying though too, this is like it's a time saver.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like you're waiting for the appointment for them to come out and physically take a look, but instead you can email this out and they can take a look right there from their phone.
I think it's a cool thing because the contractors, especially, they're so busy, and a lot of them don't. They're so busy they don't want to come out unless they know they got the job. But at least this will entice them to kind of want to give you an estimate or a quote because they don't even need come to your house.
It's all there.
It's all there. So good job, Pillar to Post.
This is wonderful.
Kenji.
Love this.
All right, Kenji. By the way, if you're realtors out there, highly recommend that you make Kenji Vendetta, Pillar to Post, one of your partners. Mm-hmm. One of your partners in your success as a realtor, real estate team. Because we've been working with Kenji a long time.
Years.
We started with
many
Kenji.
years.
He was like elementary school, and now he's a grown man, married with kids and a own house now.
I think it goes back all the way. I remember to the previous owner. So we've known Kenji a long time, and our clients love him. Our team loves him. Yeah, he does an excellent job. Yeah.
All right, Kenji. Any questions or anything that you want us to cover with you that we haven't covered with you?
No, we've pretty much covered it all. We just had a brand conference, so wanted to reiterate some of the things that we are currently doing and the new things with that Pillar to Post Connect that we're implementing now. Yeah. And it just went live on the Monday, the 12th.
Oh, wow. So
yes.
That's cool because you're not like a mom and pop home inspector, nothing wrong with the mom and pops, but you're plugged into a larger organization. There's no way a mom and pop home inspector is going to have the money or resources to have this type of technology backing them up. No way. It wouldn't make sense economically. But you do because you guys are part of a larger organization nationwide, probably all 50 states, huh? Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
All 50.
All Pillar to Post.
Well, thank you, Kenji.
Thank you, Kenji.
For coming on and sharing more about all of the tools and resources that Pillar to Post has, and these new tools and resources. It's very exciting and innovative, and we're excited to send you more home inspections throughout this year.
So, realtors out there, homeowners, whatever, buyers, no need to do your research. We've been working with Kenji for a long time.
We did the research.
The research. Trust us. We highly recommend him. He's the only home inspector that we work with right now. Yeah.
Thank you, Kenji.
Thank you, Kenji.
You're welcome.
Oh, wait, Kenji, one last thing.
Yeah.
Maili Bible High School. Where is that? I mean, I'm saying it's in Maili, but is it still around?
They are still around.
Oh, wow.
That is St. John's. If you know where St. John's Road is, it's 2 streets.
Yeah.
Heading to Makaha. 2 streets over.
Oh, wow.
And we just had an alumni dinner the last month.
Were you guys was your school like Little House on the Prairie? All the grades was in one room?
The high school was. So 7th to 12th grade, the high school was in their auditorium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, wow. And that school's still going along. I never even heard of this school till you mentioned it. So, all right. So, if parents out there, you want your kids to go Bible High School in Maili, it's still out there, it's still in going. All right, and we'll have fun at your reunion.
It already happened.
It already happened. Never mind.
Yes.
I wasn't a good listener.
Thank you, Kenji.
Have fun at the next reunion.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Okay, thank you.
We'll do.
All right, so that was Kenji Vendetta, Pillar to Post. You can find out all about him by going to our website.
Yeah.
On the resource tab and experts we trust.
For you sellers out there, a lot of you have the home that you've been living in for a long time, and you maybe not been taking care of it in the way that you want to, and now it's time to sell for whatever reason. We're going to help you with our 10K for Upgrades program. What's that about, Adrian?
Well, that would be where we're helping to front some of that money and resources.
Yeah.
And even like our project management to do things like
decluttering,
carpet cleaning, landscaping, painting, just, like the basics to get the home ready.
Get the yard cleaned up, get some great curb appeal. You were saying?
Oh, I thought you were going to go in the direction of the certified pre-owned.
Certified pre-owned, yeah, we can talk about that real quick.
Since we just had Kenji on and having that upfront inspection is a big part of it.
Home inspection, appraisal.
Survey. Get the condo docs.
Condo or HOA docs. And then
the prelim title report.
Oh, title report. Yeah, all of those things that...
So just doing that due diligence up front so you're not surprised in escrow.
Yeah. And we find that when you do that up front, there's less negotiations when you're in escrow and then less liability when you go and close the deal because you provided it all up front.
Well, like with that home inspection, it gives you, that professional opinion from Kenji.
Yeah.
And you have a whole checklist of things to do. Now, of course, Attilio and I will walk through the house and we'll tell you, cosmetically what needs to be addressed because we can't see it. But with that home inspection piece of it, we're not going to know that, maybe some outlets aren't working or maybe there's a safety issue. Who knows?
And we're not going to say that all homes are going to be, we recommend the certified pre-owned. It's just one of the many options that we have. In fact, we're getting together with the seller later on today and we're probably going to cover 3 to 4 different options. And not all of them include selling.
Yep.
On what they need to do for with their home, what we suggest they do with their home. And, looking forward to it on a future show. If you're an investor and you want to learn more about accelerated depreciation, it's cost segregation.
Cost segregation. Yeah.
Cost segregation. It's a way for you to take your investment property and have it offset some of the taxes that you own. Adrian and I have actually done this. And it's worked real well to, instead of paying Uncle Sam all these taxes.
It's that accelerated depreciation.
With accelerated depreciation, if you're an investor and you have investment properties and you don't need to sell, we just need to have a conversation with you and point you in the direction of our expert. So if you have investment properties and you want to know how to save more on your taxes.
Well, one of the cool things that I love about this guy, and I think we're going to have him on the show sometime in March, is, that all of the money that you save in taxes, that you can use that money and take it and put it as a down payment and purchase another investment property.
And keep going.
Yes.
So last thing I'll let you, if you're a company out there and you want to get some training into your establishment, I do the ideal team player, come in for an hour, get your team re-energized and refocused to have a good year.
All right. Thanks for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
We have, go ahead.
Jody and Derek of Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley with Allstate Insurance.
Kenji with Pillar to Post Home Inspection.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke with Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson with Fine Line Paintworks.
Jake with Go Local Power.
Scott with Zero Is Hawaii.
Amphy with the Estate Planning Group.
Jason Wu with he's an attorney at law.
Jeff with the Loan Depot.
Rhino with Hawaii Unified.
Janice of Dreamhouse Drafting.
If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, all you got to do is go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah Rodriguez, our producer here in the studio.
Chee-hoo.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life
forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program.
If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price in our time frame, we'll have it bought for cash.
Thanks and aloha.
The preceding program was sponsored by Team Lally.